Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick video tonight comparing a few Glock pistols. I carried a Glock 19 for almost 28 years and was very familiar with the Glock 19, put literally tens of thousands of rounds through them very trouble-free. Carried them as part of my job, and I've recently retired and had to return the Glock 19, so I no longer have it. And I was going to purchase a pistol to replace it, and I thought about buying a Glock 19, but the Glock 48 came out. And honestly, I wanted to carry something a little bit smaller than the 19 for my everyday carry. I've been carrying off-duty this little Glock 43. Now Glock has come out with the 43X and the 48 more recently, but I purchased this when the 43s just very first came out, and it's what I had been carrying, when I didn't carry the 19. I also have a 26, and I'm very partial to this gun, like this gun a lot. But honestly, depending on the clothes that you're wearing, it's thicker than the 43. And even though it's not really any larger as far as the barrel, I don't know if you can see that very well, but they're almost exactly the same size, except for the thickness. You see the thickness there is substantially different, or at least it feels substantial to me, between these two pistols. Enough different that I carry inside the waistband. Normally off duty was how I was carrying, how I do carry. And even though it may not look significant, it felt significant to me, and I felt like it printed on my shirts. I needed a wider shirt, a looser shirt to be able to carry this gun. Even though I love shooting this gun, I love shooting the Glock 19. I think the 17 is even more comfortable, but the 26, and I would use a pinky extension on the 26. Now this particular extension does not add any rounds. It's a 10-round magazine, and this extension does not add any to that, but it gives me a little more to grip, and feels very much like gripping a 19 with this extension on. I've put quite a few rounds through this weapon as well, not nearly as many as I did the Glock 19, but quite a few rounds through it. And while most people will tell you cannot shoot this pistol as accurately as you can a 19, I can. I'm not a fantastic shot with any pistol. I'm okay, and I'm just as good with this 26 as I am with a 19. Not quite as accurate, honestly, with the 43, but I think that's just a matter of training. I think if I train more with this, I would get better with it. It does feel different, even though it's the same length, and with the pink extension magazine for it right here, it gives a very similar length. It's a little bit shorter, but a very similar length to the 26. But the thinness of it, I just grip it different, and it's not as comfortable for me. It doesn't inspire as much confidence in my grip, and I'm just not quite as accurate with it. I will also, this is the Glock 42. I purchased this when they were pretty much right out as well. It's a 380 instead of a 9mm. It is very comparable in size to the 43, but it is a tiny bit smaller. You can see there's not much difference, but it is a tiny bit shorter. I don't have a caliper to put on it, but I believe it's a tiny bit narrower as well. And I shoot it, again, not even quite as well as I shoot the 43, but I shoot it much better than I shoot most other 380s. I'm not a fan of the little tiny 380s. I think that I I've had other 380s in the past that were even smaller than this gun, that were extremely easy to carry. You could stick them in your pocket if you wanted to. Not much fun to shoot. I did not keep them, and don't generally recommend them to people unless you just need an absolute, gun for very close range, and you're not terribly worried about accuracy. They're not guns you want to train much with. They're not comfortable to shoot, even though it's a 380 round. They're not that easy to hold. I'm just not a big fan of them. I believe you really need to have a pistol that is comfortable in your hand, that you enjoy training with. And the little 380s, that's why it still has the Glock sights on it, is I just don't enjoy shooting it that much. And when I got the 43, even though it's a tiny bit larger, it's not enough larger that it really made any difference to me in carrying it in an inside the waistband holster with the shirt untucked. So enjoy shooting this one. It's a little harder to carry as far as, for me. Everybody's got to make their own choices and decisions on what's easy and concealable to them based on what kind of clothes they wear, and just how comfortable they are with things. I think a lot of it has to do with your waistline as well. I'm a thicker person, have a tendency to put on a little extra weight around the middle, sometimes a lot extra weight. Trying not to have a lot of extra weight right now, but unless you want to wear a really big shirt, if you're a bigger guy, then you need a gun that is thin. Which brings me to the 48, which I chose to purchase when I turned in my 19, and this is basically what I'm replacing the 19 with. Even though from Glock it comes with a 10 round magazine. Shield Arms sells a magazine that's the same size, but it's made out of metal instead of the plastic over the metal liner, and it actually holds 15. I have tested that. It holds 15. I have not taken it to the range and shot it yet. I just haven't had a chance. I will not carry this, by the way, until I have put quite a few rounds through it to prove its reliability to me. On the 43, I did add this pinky extension that added 1 round, and I had 2 magazines that I had done that to, so these only carry 6 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. And I put these extensions on it made by a company called Pierce, and I've had good luck with Pierce in the past. I put quite a few rounds through these magazines with the extension on it, carrying 7 rounds. I just recently had one of the magazines go bad, and it will not feed. This one is still working. I have ordered some stock magazines because I didn't keep the old base plates and the internals that I replaced when I put the extension on. So I've ordered some stock magazines, and I'll keep carrying this one, I think, for now, because it is still proving reliable. But that's the thing, you start modifying things, and sometimes reliability can suffer. Honestly, that can happen even on stock magazines. So, I mean, over the 28 years almost that I was in law enforcement carrying the Glock 19, I had 2 different 19s over those 28 years and had almost no failures on those. I can't say that I had 0, but over 28 years, it was very, very few. And with stock Glock 19 magazines, which will fit in my 26, of course. But I did have magazines that I'd had so long that when I took them apart one time to check on them, and the springs were just shot. I was amazed they were still, working. And of course, I immediately took those out of rotation and didn't use them anymore, because even though they were working, they didn't inspire confidence in me. And I hope to never need a weapon, but if I do, it's got to work, and I've got to have full confidence in that. So I do have confidence in the 10 round magazine on the 48, but I really want the 15 round capacity. So I'm going to put these through some tests, and I've watched lots of other YouTube videos about these, and other people have not had reliability issues as far as I can find with them. So I'm trusting that they'll be okay to a point, but not trusting them without testing them myself. So you say, well, didn't want a 48. I like the 43X that comes out. This is why I didn't buy a 43X, because the 43X is the same gun as the 43 on the slide. Okay, it's the same slide, and so since I have a 43 and I bought a 48, I actually have a 43X as well. Let me show you. Yeah. And I've ordered extended controls for these. I like the extended controls, easier to get to. But this is my 48 frame. This is the 43 slide. And now I have a 43X. Okay, so if forever, I don't know why I would, but if I didn't want to carry the pistol with the longer slide, maybe I thought it was too heavy, or I didn't want, this is the MOS version, so I have the red dot on here. I have the previous video about putting the red dot on. But if I didn't want the red dot, or wanted it to be a little bit shorter for whatever reason, although I don't think the difference in length is enough to really make it harder to carry, but if I did feel that way, I could just take the 43 slide, put it on there. Now I've got the 43X. So that's why I didn't buy a 43X, folks. That's why I went with the 48. I was going to buy just a regular 48 because that's all that was out. And then they came out with a 48 MOS. I've not had a gun with a red dot and wanted to give it a try. I'm still getting used to it. Got a long way to go to be completely comfortable with it. And so for now, I will either carry this frame with this slide, with my 43 slide, or just the 43, until I've trained more with the red dot and feel confident bringing it up and acquiring the red dot quickly. So far, it's been okay, but let's take it slowly and not be out there and then in the heat of the moment need a firearm, and my training fell on me. So that's my philosophy on that. I don't carry anything until I have put quite a few rounds through it, and I'm confident in its reliability, and I'm confident in my muscle memory on it, and just and understanding how it operates and functions. So I wanted to make this video because there's a lot of people that I think, Glock has a lot of pistols, and there's comparable Smith & Wesson pistols to pretty much all these, and 6 Hour pistols and Springfield Armory pistols, and those are fine brands, and I've got nothing negative to say anything about them at all. But I was assigned to carry a Glock 19 for 28 years, and that generated a lot of familiarity in me. I just shot that gun so much, so familiar with it in the hand, so familiar with the takedown and the cleaning and the operating of it, and just the battery of arms, just everything about it, that I just wanted to stay with Glock, because I know a lot of people shoot a lot of different guns from a lot of different manufacturers and go from one to another and don't have any issues. But for me, muscle memory is very important. And all of these, they're a little bit different size, but they all operate exactly the same. I can pick any of them up and feel very confident in what I'm doing with it immediately. So 48 right now. I've got a couple of holsters for it already. I carry it inside the waistband, and it carries well. It's nice. I really like it a lot. It fits I like a little extra length. It just fits me so comfortably. and I don't mind the narrowness on it. And we'll see if I'm as accurate with it as I was the 19 or even the 26, because I'm still pretty accurate with, just as accurate with the 26 as the 19. Although my friends who are better shots than me tell me that it's not possible. For some reason, I'm able to do it. If you want the smallest gun, the 42 is a fine pistol. I will tell you that I have not had any feed issues with any of these guns, or the 19 especially, with any 9mm ammo. You can, whether you're buying carry ammo, hollow point carry ammo, or whether you're just putting cheap training ball rounds through it, it fires all of them flawless. All of these 3 9mm just don't have any issues at all. That was not the case with this little guy. When I bought it, I bought a variety of ammo because I don't, this is what I was telling you before, I don't even carry ammo unless I've shot a ton of it at the range to make sure that it functions, you know, in my pistol. And I bought quite a bit of variety of 380 ammo and took them to the range and found that this thing did not fire a lot of them. It wouldn't, well, it would shoot them, but it would not cycle properly. I would get failures to feed, I would get failures to eject. It was primarily exclusively basically with ammo that had a sharper angle. If the ammo had a nice round curve to it, like ball ammo fired perfectly through this, and several brands of hollow points fired just fine through it as well. But any that had more of a sharp point to the hollow point, that wouldn't feed. Contacted Glock about it. They told me to send them the pistol. I did. They changed out practically everything inside this gun. I got it back and it's better, but it's still not perfect. There's still some 380 ammo that if it's got a real sharp point to it, it just won't feed properly. So I don't, I just have to watch out about that. When I did carry it, because I did carry it for a while off duty, and when I did carry it, I just had to make sure I had the ammo that it does shoot. I would recommend that in any gun, but the Glock 9mm pistols that I've never shot a Glock 9mm pistol that was finicky on ammo. There may be some out there. I've never shot one. Every one I've shot's just been, it'll eat anything. So anyway, I hope that just seeing these, the 26 and the 43, basically the same size. 43 is just thinner. You get 10 rounds of 9mm here. You get 10 plus 1. You get 6 plus 1 here. Of course, you can get extended magazines for both of them, or aftermarket extensions on your magazines. Like I told you, I had 2 of these with the extensions, and one of them just recently quit feeding the ammo. And I can't really, I looked at it, and didn't really see any defect in it, but it's not working, so it goes in the trash. And I've ordered some more magazines. So, of course, that can happen with anything. My main recommendation to you guys is try out stuff. Go to the store, see how it fits in your hand. If you have a range that rents guns, or if you have a friend that has different pistols you could borrow, because I have bought pistols based on reviews and recommendations of other people that just didn't work for me. Just didn't. I bought a little Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. It had wonderful reviews. Could not stand that pistol. Just could not stand it personally. So anyway, guys, I hope this has been helpful, and I've got some more ideas that I want to put out. Share some information on some of the holsters that I like to carry, some of the gun belts that I have found to work very well for me, and we'll just, I hope to make some videos that are helpful for people. Not putting these out for the special ops guys. These are for people who are learning and have questions. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Like the video, subscribe. I'm going to be putting out, I'm just getting started in this, but I've got a lot of ideas to put things out. Hope to have some more videos available, in the next few weeks. And now that I'm retired, I have some time to do these things. So hope you have a great evening and a wonderful day. Take care. Thanks.